Dear friends, a dream comes true in God's own time. Yes, it is true of this foundation as well. With the great joy and immense gratitude to God Almighty, let me begin. This foundation has been in the thought of the Archeparchy and the hierarchs and the friends and well-wishers of Archbishop Joseph Pavathil for quite some time. Ever since the heavenly journey of our beloved Pidav, Mar Joseph Pavathil. He is someone who walked ahead of our time or his time. As it is often said, he has often taken the road less traveled by. And more than that, he has tread new paths for him and for others. What comes to my mind is the words of French philosopher Paul Ricoeur. The self is perceptible by the interpretation of the traces it leaves in the world. ഒരാൾ അവശേഷിപ്പിച്ചു പോകുന്ന അടയാളങ്ങളെ മറ്റുള്ളവർ എങ്ങനെ വ്യാഖ്യാനിക്കുമോ അത് അയാളുടെ സ്വത്വം വെളിപ്പെടുത്തും. പൗവത്തിൽ പിതാവ് ആരാണ് എന്നുള്ള ചോദ്യത്തിന് പൗവത്തിൽ പിതാവ് അവശേഷിപ്പിച്ചു പോയിരിക്കുന്ന അടയാളങ്ങൾ ഉത്തരമാണ്. In other words, the legacy he left behind answers the question, who was Archbishop Joseph Pavathil, or who he is to the present generation. He lived the life of a vir ecclesiasticus, died as a vir ecclesiasticus, a man of the church. In all respect, he was a man of the church, a life guided by the principle sentire cum ecclesia, to feel and think with the church. He befriended and followed the thoughts of many, past and present, thinkers and intellectuals, such as Cardinal John Henry Newman, Romano Guardini, Pope John Paul II, Cardinal Joseph Ratzinger, later Pope Benedict XVI, Cardinal Francis George of Chicago, Cardinal Angelo Scola of Venice, and so on. And today, he is someone noted for his absence. His absence itself is an ever-alive presence amidst us. The words of St. Paul to Timothy are true of Archbishop Pavathil. I have fought the good fight. I have finished the race. I have kept the faith. He fought against communism, Vargavadam, because it did not go with his faith in God. He fought against communalism, Vargiyavadam, because it was against the secular nature of our constitution. He stood for interreligious dialogue because that is the beauty of our nation. He fought for the educational and minority rights because it was ensured by the Indian Constitution. He fought for the rights of the migrant Syro-Malabar faithful because it was assured by the Second Vatican Council. And he fought for the apostolic patrimony and identity of the Syro-Malabar Church because it was mitigated and lost in the historical vicissitude of our Indian Church. He championed ecumenism and communion of churches because the Second Vatican Council set them as its goal. Why did he fight for the legitimate rights? One could get the answer from his coat of arms, in truth and charity. Truth was his guiding principle, and charity was the motivating force. It is said, contemporary man is always looking for something. but he cannot harmonize his heart with his mind and the creative power of God on high. However, Archbishop Pavatil could harmonize his mind and heart and follow the promptings of the transcendent. If I choose a metaphysical principle to describe the life of Archbishop Joseph Pavatil, I may turn to the good. It is said, what is good in itself. What is good is spread goodness, and what is good aims at goodness. Yes, Archbishop Pavatil was a good man, a good soul, a good visionary, and a good pastor. There was humility in his actions. He was gentle in his dealings and modest in his words, and very personal and warm in his interpersonal relationship. Dear friends, the idea itself of a foundation came from the secretariats of Pavatil Pidav. It was later discussed with the then Archbishop Mar Joseph Perinthotam and Auxiliary Bishop Mar Thomas Tarail. This initiative was placed before the consideration of the Curia, and the response was positive. The Curia on 12th February 2024 accepted the proposal and gave permission to establish the foundation. In a meeting held on August 17, 2025, presided over by Archbishop Thomas Tarail, the trust and the foundation were announced. It was also decided to have the inauguration of the foundation on 21st February 2026. The registration of the foundation as a public trust took place on 28th January 2026 with 15 members. There is also an advisory board of 7 members. A few objectives of the foundation. It is a matter of our understanding and our common knowledge through the media now. Nevertheless, a few I highlight. Promotion of research, studies, and publication on the works and thoughts of Archbishop Joseph Pavatil through the assignments of grants. Organization of memorial lectures, conferences, seminars, symposia with a special focus on education, minority rights, ecumenism, and interreligious fellowship. Prizes to outstanding scholars for their publications on their systematic research in the areas of ecumenism, education, minority rights, and so on. Award for persons working in institutions for the differently abled people. Excellence Award for Dalit Catholics to foster their integration into the academic and professional mainstreams. These are some of the objectives and dreams to be realized by the cooperation of generous people. In other words, we need to collect a corpus fund for the functioning of the foundation. And I am happy to announce that our beloved George Cardinal Kuvakad has inaugurated the contribution to the foundation with a donation of 5 lakhs. And he has already addressed us through the video message. We are grateful to all the dignitaries and all of you for your availability, cooperation, and support today and coming days. To conclude, why this foundation at all? The answer is, we want to preserve and foster the valuable legacy of our Archbishop Joseph Pavatil for the next generation. We believe it is our duty and also a historical necessity, as the Deepika title written by our Professor P.J. Thomas, കാലഘട്ടത്തിൻ്റെ ചരിത്രത്തിൻ്റെ അനിവാര്യതയാണ് ഈ ഫൗണ്ടേഷൻ. May his memory be ever alive and let him continue to live through each one of us. God bless you. Thank you.